Hello, Carol Bennett.
Hi, Matt Deering.
It's so great to see you.
Well, thank you. I'm
As
so excited.
always, look at you. You're the most wonderful, happy person I know.
Well, thank you. That's such a compliment.
It's
Thank
true.
you.
So it's through your kids is how you sort of found this place, right?
Exactly, yeah.
So your kids came here to take classes.
Right. We lived kind of far away. We were very much committed in all kinds of activities because my kids were the kind of kids that joined everything. So I couldn't do the regular class schedule with you, but you guys helped out with private lessons for them, which worked fabulously.
Yeah. And so for Jack was to try to get into a college,
Yes,
right?
yes. And every college he auditioned for, he got a full talent scholarship, including like NYU and Chapman and all kinds of wonderful schools.
Yeah, incredible. And
So,
then your
thank
daughter
you.
Danny as well.
Yeah, she was doing that for the high school musical because it's so competitive at the schools.
Of course it
trying
is.
to get a spot. So.
Yeah. Tell me that story.
Okay, so I love my job. It is repetitive though, and it was a long day at work, and I've been working a lot of days in a row, and I'm like, I want to do something else. And I'm not kidding. I was just coming up 32nd Street, and it was like my car just drove into the parking lot, and came in, and I'm like, am I too old? And she said, of course not. And she says, we have a class on Tuesday night, commercial. I'm like, perfect. So from that point on, I always rearranged my work schedule to be on here on Tuesday nights.
And so what was your experience at your first class?
Oh my gosh. So I was like, what am I doing when I'm driving here? I'm so nervous. This is so outside my comfort zone. I have never, ever done theater or anything myself. And so I just walked in and, you know, just the way you guys are, everybody's so welcoming. As soon as you get in the door, you sat down in class, you had us all stand up and introduce ourselves and tell us why we were awesome. And I said, I'm awesome because I showed up even though I was terrified.
Yeah.
I'll never forget that. And you're like, well, that's fantastic. And everybody applauded. Yeah. And it was just such a positive, fun night.
There's the yin yang, right? There's the light dark. There's something inside all of us that's not skin, you know, that we can't really put our fingers on. And you had this other thing telling you not to come here every week, right? Like all the excuses.
Oh, yes, absolutely.
And I call that the darkness or the enemy. And you have to fight that. And then as you did, you would always appreciate coming afterward. But that's to me, it's a fascinating thing.
That what took me a long time to get over. Like I was just so nervous because being prepared and memorized at home is a whole different thing than getting here and being prepared and memorized.
Yeah.
Because your nerves kick in. And I'm by nature pretty nervous, but I've really come a long way. So I would always be like, oh, I can't go tonight. I'm not ready. I'm not prepared. And I would always show up though. And I was so glad.
Yeah. That's awesome. The reason I bring it up is I think it's something that people can really learn from if they watch this interview and they can see, okay, if I'm feeling that way, go for it anyway.
Oh, you have to.
So how has being here at the studio changed any of your personal life or your work or your professional life?
Okay, I think you learn so many things here. I feel like, of course, we're learning all about acting and the craft of acting and how to be an actor, but the other things you learn are overcoming your fears, being more self-confident. As we get older, as in myself, your memory starts to go, and so these exercises of memorizing things every single week, I think, are just adding such value to my life in the long run. So there's so much that you learn.
What about for your work?
Okay, for my work, I'm in front of people all the time, and which I was comfortable with, obviously, that's my job, but now I am more able to do more for my passengers because I'm more fearless. And I will grab the microphone and say some funny things or do more, lead everybody in happy birthday. Whereas before I was more like one-on-one quiet, like, this is for you, happy birthday, we're so glad you're here. And now able to have the confidence to do a lot more and involve more people.
That's great. How has your viewpoint on acting changed since you've been at the studio?
Oh, I thought it was just something that, you know, came naturally if you were good at it. But I realized there is so much to learn, and you go through curves where you're like, hey, I think I'm catching on, and then it's like, oh, I gotta work so hard on this, and I'm catching on. I think it's a never-ending process, and I just did not know because I'd never taken an acting class before.
So you have a different appreciation, would you say, for
yes, and you don't
actors?
Watch movies or plays the same again.
Yeah.
Or TV shows. You're always like, oh my gosh, look how we did that. When they said that.
And you can tell when it's good and bad, and then you're like, oh, the ones that are good, you go, that took a lot of work
to do
what they just did.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm amazed by it.